Hi guys, welcome back to another The Shivan review and welcome to the first virtual top trumps. Thank you to everyone who voted on Instagram on which car they prefer between the Porsche 911 GT2 RS and the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT Black Series. It was great to have your feedback and there was clearly one favourite between the two. I will be revealing this later on in the show.
Q Tracks.
Many of you have asked me or commented many times on how I can be a car reviewer and not to drive. This is something unfortunately I cannot do due to my disability, but this has not stopped me. I am proud to announce I have teamed up with the ultimate car reviewer, Mr. Carwell, aka Matt Watson. Make sure you subscribe and check out his YouTube channel as he is able to show you guys a more in-depth review on some of the cars that I will be reviewing. Now I am going to talk about the pros and cons between the two cars. So the Porsche will go first. So its pros are it's cheaper, it's brilliant to drive on the track, and it's got a nice engine sound. Now the cons for the Porsche are it's uncomfortable to drive on the road and it's slightly hollow in the lumbar support region.
The engine in this car is based on that of the normal 911 turbo. It's not a turbocharged version of the 4 litre in the GT3 RS. As a result, it doesn't rev quite so high, so it redlines at 7,000 RPM, which I think you'll agree is still pretty high. Doesn't sound as good as the naturally aspirated engine in the GT3 RS either, but it's still quite fruity. And I'll tell you one thing, you cannot argue with its performance. For starters, there is virtually no turbo lag, so when you put your foot down, it just goes. And boy does it go. So I'm cruising along in 4th gear, 50 miles an hour, yes, everything's fine, but then I decide that I want to go into warp speed. I just floor the throttle and off we go. Holy crap! And that was 100 like that. I swear to God, this thing accelerates quicker in 4th gear than my Porsche 911 996 does in 2nd gear. Thing is though, this is way more expensive, and the 996 is the cheapest way into Porsche 911 ownership. And if you'd like to see a buying guide to one, click up there to watch my video on that with my very own car. And when you're there, please subscribe to my own channel. Obviously, it's the engine which dominates this car, but you wouldn't be able to enjoy it quite as much as you can if it wasn't for the excellent automatic gearbox. It's so responsive. I'm cruising along in 7th, barely ticking over. I'm going to floor the throttle because I want to overtake someone. Off we go. 7th to 2nd in the blink of an eye. And then, when you put it into manual mode, it's just as good. So it'll hold onto gears. Look at this. It'll hold onto them. It'll hold onto them. It won't change up. It'll just keep you on the rev limiter like that. I'm on the rev limiter. Don't worry, it's not harming the car. Just makes a racket. And then when you pull the paddle, instant. Pull, change, pull, change. I couldn't even say quick enough. Pull, change. Even down the box. Pull, change, pull, change, pull, change. And I like pulling at these carbon fibre pedals. Feels expensive. Oh yes. I've got to be careful though, because I am basically piloting a missile. Excuse my language, but it kind of makes you swear this thing because it's just so brutally quick. The brakes are good. They don't have that much feel, I don't think, but boy do they stop you. 3, 2, 1, stop. Stop. Oh. Right, I could have damaged my aortic arch then. Under the G-force when I was braking, it brakes hard. Cameraman didn't enjoy that, did he, cameraman?
No.
Didn't enjoy it. Didn't. Let's get driving again. Oh. I don't think I enjoyed that. I feel a bit sick myself. Brakes, brilliant. Steering. Well, I think we need a twistier road to really assess the steering. But what I can say is high speed stability. So in this long flowing corner, it just stays planted. As the engine's at the back, when you get into a corner, you need to brake hard and trail brake to get the weight moving forward, get the nose biting into the tarmac, and then power out. Use the weight of the engine over the back wheels to give you lots of grip. Oh, you can feel it moving around. Oh, I tell you what, the steering is lovely. Whoa! It's almost like it's just directly linked to my brain. I can feel exactly what the car's doing, and it's responding precisely to what I want it to do. I'll let you all into a little secret. I'm driving this car with the stability control all the way on, because today I've got tiny little bollocks. They're kind of like little frightened shriveled up walnuts, because I know this thing could bite me. I'm not actually worried that I'd die if I was to crash. It's more the fact that, well, I'd have to make that awkward phone call to Porsche, go, hello, yeah, it's Matt from CarWow. You know that GT2 RS you let me? Yeah, the really rare one, the expensive one. It's a little bit damaged. Now let's talk about more practical stuff. So what is the 911 GT2 RS like as a daily driver? Well, being a 911, it's actually quite easy to drive. Got good visibility and it's reasonably comfortable. Yes, the suspension is firm, but it's expensive firm suspension, so it rounds off the edges of bumps. It doesn't crash over them like cheaper cars. One thing that is a little bit annoying is when you're just cruising along, maybe you can hear this, you get quite a lot of drone from the engine. I bet you're thinking, oh my God, that's really crap, and it is. But then you realise that you've left the exhaust valves open, and then if I press that, it's not quite so bad. But still, longer distances could be a bit of a chore, but to be fair, you'll only be driving this car longer distances to go to a track day, won't you? And then it won't matter, because you'll be having so much fun overall throughout that day. What a blinding car this is. I would love to keep it, but I just don't have £230,000.
Next up is the Mercedes. So the pros for the Mercedes are it's got a huge track ability, it's excellent to drive, it's got a mighty engine, and it's brilliant attention to detail. And the cons are it's glass price, it's got light steering, and it's got excessive brake travel.
Me looking like a complete nutter idiot in a helmet and a hair protector thingy. So I've got to wear this for safety's sake, obviously going out on track now, and I've got my harness on. It feels like a pretty serious beast already. I've got the car set up in race mode with the stability control on, just for the first few laps. See how we get on. Hopefully I won't crash. Let's do this. Now I'm following some other cars out here, and in front is Bernd Schneider, who is a DTM touring car legend. So he'll be going at about 50% and I'll be going at about 110%. Right, I think I'm going to change gears myself because race car for the road. You got to it, yeah. Oh, blimey. I'll tell you what, straight away, the front end on this is well tidy. The way it grips. And you can probably hear as well, the engine definitely sounds different with that flat, plain crank and the different firing order. It sounds absolutely epic. They've really made some significant changes to this car. And you can feel them. It's got that race car feel to it. So much more information is coming through the steering than I recall from a GT or the GTR Pro. This bit's a bit sketch. Get this wrong with this wall, you've got to trust those tyres. But they're good tyres, specifically developed for this car. Ooh. This is a beast, an absolute beast of a machine. You can probably hear my radio just like rattling around in the cup holder as I'm changing direction. That front end grip is phenomenal. Be brave, don't lift, keep it on, keep it on. Oh. Get this one right, Matt, come on, Matt. Yes. I tell you what, when you get into a rhythm with this, it's absolutely gorgeous. They have done a great job. Whoa, it's just sliding slightly there. I think I might have cocked that up a bit. Oh no. This is the tricky one for me, this one here. You can just feel the nose just holding, get the apex. Power! And this engine kicking out 730 horses. Woo. Cool down lap for the car and cool down lap for the presenter.
Did you know that the Porsche 911 GT2 RS has an optional extra? It's called the Biosec Pack,
Which includes a carbon fibre roof instead of the standard magnesium one. Lightweight magnesium alloy wheels, Weissach embroidered onto the headrest, including the track itself. FYI, it's the track where Porsche tests out its cars. Some more pointless Weissach stuff here. Carbon fibre anti-roll bars. Right, I can't see them. In fact, who's stolen the engine? Ha 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 ha. A Porsche 911 joke. And finally, the roll cage made out of titanium to help save weight. Overall, the Weissach pack costs £21,042.
Did you know that the Mercedes has such things as
A massive grille, just like the one on the GT race car, and really makes it stand out. Another key feature is loads of upgraded aero. The first is this. You've got an extendable front splitter. It's not the easiest thing to do. I've got to lie on the floor, pull some levers and then yank it out like that. Right. So that reduces lift massively at the front, creates quite a bit of downforce. You have to screw little bolts in there and there for when you're on track to add some support for them. Now you can't drive it like that on the road, reason being pedestrian protection. You hit somebody, you are going to shatter their ankles. I think I'll leave that out, it's too much of a faff to put back. Other updates include this, look, you've got some new lights, there's lots of aero and ventage here at the side, these little wings as well to just help improve that downforce, give you more front end grip. Also, there's loads of carbon fibre on this car. The bonnet is made out of carbon fibre, and look, it's sculptured as well to help air get in there to the radiators. The GT Black gets me unique alloy wheels which are forged, 19 inches at the front, 20s at the back. They've got a nice matte black paint finish to them. Also, they're wearing Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres which have been specifically designed for this car for improved grip and feel. Find out more about that when I get out on track. You've also got upgraded carbon ceramic brakes over the normal GTR Pro, so they're slightly bigger, the discs are on this, for even improved braking performance. Another key feature are the loops which are cut directly into the bodywork. In fact, you can see all the way through to the tyre beneath. That helps let turbulent air out and reduces lift. Turbulent air is also released through this side breather as well. Moving down the side, you've got carbon fibre side skirts which look really nice, carbon fibre door mirrors. From the side, this car looks real badass. I especially like it in this orange paint. The colour combination actually reminds me of a Japanese giant Hornet, and I think it's going to have other cars going, ah, ah, get off, get off, get off, ah! I think it's gone now, it's safe. The key thing on this car obviously is this new big rear wing, so you can actually adjust it manually. However, the centre part here moves automatically depending on which driving mode you're in, and it can alter its angle by 20 degrees. Say if you're cornering or braking, it'll stick up more. If you're going high speed, then it'll go flat for reduced drag. This offers proper downforce. I'll show you now. Look at this, right? There are special braces in here attached to the chassis which press down on there because that can produce so much pressure on the back of the car. Now you can probably notice this as well. That's carbon fibre. It's not on a GTR Pro. The roof is carbon fibre like the GTR Pro, but that is extra on the Black Series. Also, you get lightweight glass as well in there, helps reduce the weight. Also, all this diffuser area, that's carbon fibre as well. Now in the UK, we get the track pack as standard, and that includes the roll cage. There's also a fire extinguisher in here somewhere, I don't know where. It also includes 4-point racing harness. Unfortunately, you don't get that as standard in other markets. Though to be fair, in the UK, this car does start from £335,000. Now let's talk about the chassis upgrades, because there's loads. Like on a GTR Pro, you can adjust the camber of the wheels at the front and the back, only you can adjust them by a lot more, so up to 3.5 degrees, which is quite a lot. Just like with the GTR Pro, you have adjustable anti-roll bars at the front and the back. The front one is carbon fibre and the rear one is hollow steel. Unlike the GTR Pro, which has dampers you have to adjust manually with your hand, you can do it electronically in the Black Series. 3 different settings: Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. Now the dampers are completely different than on the normal GTR, and they're much more sporty focused, so the setup is firmer and more aggressive. Now there is something you can adjust manually, and that's a ride height, and you can change it by up to 15mm depending on the driving conditions. Underneath the car there's a cross brace which helps strengthen the body. You can't actually see it though, because the entire underside is covered in black plastic to help smooth airflow. There are these fins though which channel air to the rear diffuser to help with downforce, and apparently if this car's going flat out, it's got 800 kilos of downforce, which is insane.
Now guys, based on your votes, there is clearly one winner. The Porsche, I must say, I agree with you all, because for 30 brake horsepower more, you will need to pay £107,000 more. Overall, the Porsche gets a 4-star TSR review rating, and the Mercedes gets a 3.5-star TSR review rating. Stay tuned for my epic reviews, and if you have anything specific you would like to see me about, go ahead and ping me a message. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also follow me on Instagram. It's called TSR UK.